What if the biggest threat to your health isn't your age, but the words you use at your doctor's appointment? Most people over 60 don't realize this, but a few simple phrases can quietly lead to missed diagnoses, delayed treatment, and unnecessary suffering. And the scary part, you might be saying them without even thinking. Doctors rely heavily on what you tell them, not just your symptoms, but how you describe them. The problem is many older adults were raised to be polite, tough, and not complain. But in a medical setting, those habits can actually work against you. Today, we're going to walk through 14 common phrases and habits that can weaken your care, and what to say instead to protect your health and your voice. 1. I'm fine, when you're not. This is one of the most common and most harmful phrases. Saying I'm fine may feel polite or strong, but it can stop the conversation before it even begins. Doctors often take your words at face value, especially when time is limited. Instead, try being specific. Even something simple like, I've been feeling more tired than usual lately, can open the door to important questions and better care. Being honest isn't complaining, it's providing essential information. 2. It's just old age. It's easy to blame symptoms on aging, but not everything is just getting older. Some symptoms may be manageable or even preventable when addressed early. Instead of dismissing it, describe what you're experiencing. When I walk, I feel this pressure in my chest. Let your doctor decide what's normal and what needs attention. 3. I don't want to bother you. This phrase may sound respectful, but it can minimize your needs. Your doctor is there to help you, not to be protected from your concerns. If something is bothering you, it deserves attention. A better approach is, I have a few things I'd like to go over today. Clear, respectful, and direct. 4. You're the doctor. You decide. Trust is important, but your voice matters too. Medical decisions often involve trade-offs, side effects, lifestyle impact, and personal comfort. Instead, stay involved. What are my options? What would you recommend in my situation? This creates a partnership, not a one-sided decision. 5. It's nothing. Forget it. This phrase can shut down important discussions. Even small symptoms can provide clues. What feels minor today may help prevent something more serious later. If it crossed your mind, it's worth mentioning. You can say, this might be small, but I've noticed. That's often enough to guide a meaningful conversation. 6. I Googled it and I think it's. While it's good to be informed, jumping to conclusions can sometimes mislead the conversation. Instead of presenting a diagnosis, share your concern. I read something online that made me wonder about this symptom. This keeps the conversation open without locking into assumptions. 7. Not mentioning all your medications or supplements. Many people forget to mention vitamins, herbal supplements, or over-the-counter meds, but these can interact with prescriptions in important ways. Always give a full picture, even if it seems unrelated. 8. Downplaying pain or discomfort. Some people avoid describing pain clearly because they don't want to seem dramatic, but pain level, frequency, and location are key details for diagnosis. Instead of saying, it's not that bad, try, it's a dull ache that comes and goes, about a 6 out of 10. That level of detail helps your doctor understand the situation better. 9. Forgetting to mention changes in daily habits. Sleep, appetite, energy levels. These are important signals. Even small changes can point to underlying issues. Make a habit of sharing anything that feels different from your normal routine. 10. Saying, I'll deal with it later. Delaying discussion of symptoms can lead to missed opportunities for early care. If something has been bothering you for weeks or months, bring it up now. Early conversations often lead to simpler solutions. 11. Not asking questions. Many people leave appointments with confusion because they didn't ask questions. If something isn't clear, it's okay to ask, can you explain that in a simpler way? Understanding your care is just as important as receiving it. 12. Avoiding sensitive topics. Topics like digestion, mental health, or memory changes can feel uncomfortable to discuss, but doctors are trained to handle these conversations professionally. Bringing them up can lead to support and solutions you might not expect. 13. Agreeing just to end the appointment. Sometimes people say okay just to move things along. Even if they don't fully agree or understand, it's better to pause and clarify. I want to make sure I understand this before we move forward. Your comfort matters in every decision. 14. Not preparing before the visit. Walking into an appointment without notes can lead to forgotten concerns. A simple list of symptoms, questions, and medications can make your visit far more effective. Preparation helps you make the most of your time. 15. I forgot to mention. At the very end, or after you leave, this happens more often than people realize. You go through the entire appointment, and just as you're about to leave, you suddenly remember something important. I forgot to mention, I've been having chest tightness. The problem is, by that point, time is often up. The doctor may not be able to fully explore that concern, which can delay proper evaluation. A better approach is to prepare ahead of time. Write down your top concerns before the visit and prioritize them. You might say at the start, I have 3 things I really want to make sure we cover today. This ensures the most important issues don't get left behind. 16. I stopped taking it. Without explanation. Sometimes patients stop taking medication due to side effects, cost, or personal concerns. But don't mention it. This can create confusion. Your doctor may assume the treatment isn't working, when in reality, it's simply not being taken. Instead of staying silent, be open. I stopped taking this medication because it made me feel dizzy. This gives your doctor the chance to adjust your treatment safely rather than guessing what went wrong. 17. Whatever is easiest. When asked about treatment options, some people respond with, whatever is easiest. While it may seem practical, this can overlook what truly matters to you, your comfort, your routine, and your long-term goals. Medical decisions aren't just about convenience. They should reflect your lifestyle and preferences. A better response might be, what option fits best with my daily life? Or what are the pros and cons of each? This keeps you involved and ensures the plan works for you, not just on paper. 18. I didn't think it was important. This is one of the most quietly dangerous habits, and it often comes from good intentions. Many older adults filter what they share, choosing only what feels serious enough to mention. A small symptom, a brief discomfort, or a change that comes and goes may seem too minor to bring up, so they stay silent. But here's the reality. In medicine, small details are often the missing pieces of a much bigger picture. What feels insignificant to you could be highly relevant to your doctor. A slight change in appetite, occasional dizziness, a new discomfort during sleep. These may not seem urgent on their own, but together they can point to patterns that matter. When you say, I didn't think it was important, you're unintentionally making a medical judgment without having the full clinical perspective. Instead, try shifting your mindset. You don't need to decide what's important. That's your doctor's role. Your role is simply to observe and share. A better way to express it might be, I'm not sure if this matters, but I've noticed. That one sentence can open the door to earlier understanding, better decisions, and more personalized care, because in many cases, it's not the big symptoms that tell the story. It's the small ones that get mentioned early. At the end of the day, your doctor can only help you based on what you share, so don't hold back, don't minimize, and don't assume something isn't important. Your voice matters more than you think, and using it clearly could make all the difference in your health. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.